All right, you white motherfuckers, all eyes on me. This is the I Refuse podcast.
Logical. Oh, what we about to look at?
Well, I was going to talk about this probably a short while ago.
Fight. What fight?
So it wasn't a fight, it was actually a murder.
You talking about the shorty right here that crashed out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Detroit.
Yeah, I saw that shit last night.
Okay. I just saw it before we came on.
Yeah.
So out of Detroit, this woman of 6 kids that was a manager at a McDonald's, Jennifer Harris, was murdered by an employee that she sent home early. Apparently, there was an altercation between this employee and another employee that got into a back and forth argument, and the manager, Jennifer Harris, sent this bird home. Thought that would be the end of it. This bird came back with a kitchen knife and repeatedly stabbed Jennifer Harris. It took somebody else in the restaurant to fire a gunshot in the air for this girl to stop. And then tried to run away. Somebody got a hold of her and was able to keep her until the police showed up. And she's in jail. Meanwhile, this woman, Jennifer Harris, mother of 6 kids, died.
Yep.
At her place of work. So now, as we were up here on this episode talking and everything, I came across this video on my timeline, the I Refuse podcast on Twitter, all one word, where this girl, I think this happened before the murder. Like she had like getting on live or getting on social media and voicing her
there's multiple videos that she did before the situation happened, because that wasn't the first time that she got sent home early. It was the second time, actually. And she pretty much explains like what happened, and that she was sent home, how she felt about it, and then she talks about how she feels about the manager, and the manager's racist and all this other stuff like that. Her videos, the way she talks, gives maybe a little unstable.
Can I play it?
Absolutely.
I got sent home early yesterday. I got sent home early today by the same person. I'm telling you, she's a bully. This shit isn't funny. She needs to understand that just because she's a mother and got children doesn't mean that she can come in the store, disrespecting people, talking to them like everybody's beneath her. She has no respect. And it isn't funny at all. Like, seriously, man, I got shit I got to take care of. And she keeps sending me home early. It's not funny. She's playing games. And then all day, throughout the day, she keeps sending her little racial shit. And then throughout the day, she keeps on like putting negative energy in the air, talking about people, gossiping about people. It's not funny, man. That shit gonna have to stop. She's a bully. I'm telling you. She's a bully. She brings a lot of negative energy in there. She always panic when it's a lot going on. And then she try to manipulate that and make it seem like we ain't doing something right. But we are working really hard, doing great. It's just the fact that she panicked. And I caught her a few times making a mistake, and she tried to hurry up and play it off. Nobody's perfect. It's fucking McDonald's. It happens. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like, somebody might get confused. So fuck, it gets busy, yeah. But she needs to stop playing like she don't be making mistakes. I be catching her. So all that animosity and shit that she keep putting in the air and stuff, they're trying to tell me I'm always snapping on people. No, that's false. No, I don't snap on people. I don't go in there doing that. I tell her, no, I make peace. That's what I'm doing. I've been creating peace. So all that negative energy that she's bringing in there and trying to manipulate it, no, that's going to stop. All that negative shit she's saying about, her personal life, all of that. No, she's bringing all that in there and then playing games saying she want to take her belt off and beat somebody. Y'all act like my kids in there. No, we ain't your kids. Respect us. Stop talking to us like that. That shit is crazy. I'm telling you. But to get sent home 2 days in a row, man, and I came in on my off day to make up my time, and she still sends me home early, it's not funny. Somebody will have to do something about that. It's not funny. It's not fair. It isn't funny at all. So, she could keep being a bully if she wants to, but that shit is going to catch up to her. Because it ain't funny at all. It ain't.
I have a question.
Yes.
Have they put out any like videos from any of the other employees or anything like that? Have you seen anything from like any of the other employees that working at McDonald's?
I don't think so.
Mm. I, here's my take. Um, Nobody should had to lose their life over McDonald's. I don't know, like, period. It's just nobody. Um, if the environment that she's saying is true, um, we live in an age now where people do not do good with disrespect or feel like they're being talked down to. Um, and even like prior to how all of this was, like, Fox, like what we had to do to
Man,
Charles.
man.
Like, what we had to do when it came down to that type of disrespect. You know what I'm saying? But no, nobody was stabbed or killed in the process. Um, and then flip side to it is again, we are in a age where a lot of people are struggling. And because they have a job does not mean that they not having that paycheck to paycheck shit don't work for everybody. Some, people want stability, or some people have real life shit going on where money is needed and it's dire situations. You know what I mean? And no employee is obligated to have to share that information, but just listening to her, that sense of like, bro, I need I need this. This is my livelihood at the end of the day. Um it's fucked up. It's fucked up. But whatever Shorty had going on, she crashed the fuck out. She crashed out. And
She going away
if
for life.
yeah, but it's like it's fucked up because if what she's saying is true, again, we live in an age now where certain levels of disrespect don't fly with people. And when you disrespecting them and you playing with their livelihood, bad things happen. I again, I do not I don't agree with that level of retaliation. Like that shit is crazy, especially when you know that that woman had 6 kids. Like, mm, it's so many ways that manage that takes away hostility that allows you the people that you work with, you know, feel appreciated or want to work with you because you don't treat them as if they beneath you just because you have a title. Because when you walk out of that building and you clock out, you a civilian just like they are. You're not that manager no more. So you just got to be very, very careful when it comes down to you having the control of somebody's livelihood in your hands. But then it's also one of those things where why the fuck did she get sent home? What was the reason? Because while you explained all of her flaws and faults and how you feel the way that you feel,
You didn't
you
say
never
your shit.
said you never said why you got sent home.
Because trust and believe, we got word from other folks, other employees saying that you got into an altercation with another employee this particular day and you got sent home by the manager.
And in
So
addition
clearly,
to
so clearly
she's
you did.
she said she also said so she said that she had got sent home 2 days in a row and then you came up there on your day off to try to get your hours back, which to me sounds like you just came up there and was like, can I work? And you were told no. But if you got into an altercation with another employee, yeah, you gonna get sent home. Did the other employee get sent home too? And if not, then again, what was the reasons the other 2 days that you got sent home that on your day off they sent you home again?
Yeah,
That's not
interesting.
that's
That wasn't
that's not what's
left
being
out.
explained. So it's like she may very well had created this environment, but you may have contributed to that toxicity. You may have you what you did might got nothing to do with the bullshit that she doing. It might have something very well to do solely with an action that you took. It don't matter whether she make mistakes. Okay, cool. But what did you do? What was the situation that happened that led you to be sent home 2 days in a row? And then on your day off. But again, I digress.
Let me tell you.
That's where the problem with shit come into play. And people will go and they will have the same conversation that I had, but not ask that question and blame it solely on the manager. What did you do? Why were you sent home? Were you sent home just the fuck because? If that's the case, then you could have took that shit to corporate. Like you could have took it to corporate.
You also could have put in for a transfer to a different
To
McDonald's.
a different McDonald's. Yep. There are so many options out there other than what you chose. And the fact that you said somebody's going to have to do something about it. What the fuck does that even mean?
Man, in the
Listen,
court of law, they could look at that as premeditation.
that's a threat.
Right.
Exactly. And you said it multiple times in this one video, and you said it in another video also. So to me, you
Ooh.
it's giving you felt like you were the one that needed to take care of it. You going up there on your day off without call, like, did you call? And I'm pretty sure if you called, they probably would have told you no, you can't work. Or did they tell you yes and you went up there and you did whatever bullshit that you did the other two times that you were sent home and got sent home again? It's just too many questions that I have, that you did a lot of talking about her, but you never talked about what caused the initial issue of you being sent home 2 days in a row and then a third day. Because that can't, if you kind of like play it back or whatever, it sounds like she said she got sent home the other day, then she got sent home yesterday, and then I came up here today to try on my day off to see whether or not I can make up the hours that I missed. Did you just go up there and assume that they were going to let you? Or did you call and this manager that you have the issue with said yes, but you ended up getting into this altercation, which got you sent home again? See where the problem comes into play?
I'm gonna tell y'all this. My
Mm,
first, at my time at Checkers, up there, not too far from you,
mm,
I have worked alongside. I have worked alongside quite a few interesting characters, either like other crew members or managers, right?
mm,
Every once in a while, they would send a manager in from a different store to just kind of cover the night shift or whatever. We had a manager by the name of Miss Pat. So you can tell she drinks, and she's not like a wild turkey, crazy turkey kind of person. She this is back when like Arbor what was it, Arbor Mist was out,
mm-hmm.
the real the real sweet looking drink that made black people think they were fancy. So she was already on some bougie shit. She drinks Arbor Mist, right? Oh yeah, yeah, I said it. The same way y'all think that, what is it, 40-40 or 50-50? It was kind
Oh
of like that
my
shit, but because it was in like a frosted glass or bottle, y'all really thought y'all was in the Hollywood Hills sometimes. But
no,
anyway,
remember,
Miss Pat,
I'm gonna let you finish your story first.
but I knew she drank RMS because that was all she talked about. But she had like a sly, nasty way about it. Like
Mm,
like you get around some people and they say little slick shit under their breath, or they talk real fast with the slick shit. And I would always catch a stray whenever I'm working with her. I'm like,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like 15, 16. I'm like, should I choke this bitch out? Like, what's going on? Like, like the only time I know of this lady or I've seen this lady is when we're working the same shift. And, she would say a little slick or sly shit. And like, what the fuck is going on? And I realized looking back that I was kind of like an easy target, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you got this little boy. He don't really bother nobody. He worked. He probably got a little sugar in his tank. So when you have like older black women, and sometimes older black men in an authority position, they tend to do shit in group settings against the different boy or the different girl or whatever, right? And that's a whole nother conversation for another day. And Miss Pat was one of those people, and I was just like, what 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 the fuck is this bitch problem? Like, you know how I am. I come to work, do my job. I don't really fool la la in the drama. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I laugh because shit funny, but I do my 8 hours and leave. Um,
You you've
so
ever
I know you
you
about
ever
to.
heard of or seen the Stanford prison experiment or project?
I've heard about it.
You've never seen the movie about it?
No, but finish what you was about to say when I was talking
Because
about Arbor Miss. Because she really thought
first,
she was somebody.
first, it was the Alchemist was like the Grateful Pond, and remember that Vienna ice cream cake?
Man, that shit. Look, if you had that in your house, all three of those, oh bitch, you was your shit did not stink. But maybe you live in the
No,
same apartments I do. But the point is, I
but
never like as long as I've been on this earth, and you could call me defensive if we go back and forth. You can say whatever. I've never been driven to the point where I would go to my car or my trunk
and want to
to
take
my
somebody's
job
life as a result of it.
and attack people and bust a cap in people's ass.
Yeah, it's what I the Stanford prison experiment. To give context of why, there's a reason I brought this up. So at Stanford University, this professor came up with this experiment of um basically he took I want to say 20 men that signed up for it. Like they signed up voluntarily. They asked them questions and interviewed them. They picked the people that they wanted. 10 people were going to be prisoners, and then 10 people were going to be prison guards. And they basically took a section of a building and made it into a mock prison and just let it go. This experiment only lasted a couple days because one of the problems was the guys who were the prison guards. Let's just say that they went a little too far. They were put in a position of power, and even though it wasn't real, because they were given free range to do whatever it was that they wanted to do and what they believed a prison guard should be able to do in that position of power, they enacted on it, which caused a lot of trauma to quite a few people. One ended up having to leave like less than 24 hours after it started. That's how fast it the dynamic changed. It's the same thing. It's a human psyche thing of what happens when you put humans in a position of power. Rather it be a McDonald's manager, a Checkers manager, a police officer, like it's all the same thing. For some reason, when humans understand that their position controls or can dictate something of another person, they take advantage of it. It's very rare that you come across managers who understand that their position is just a position. You got somebody over
Oh,
top of them, just as over top of them
oh,
the same way that you are over top of other people.
baby. When
But
I
then
left, oh,
yeah, but then you have those who just take that shit a little too seriously, and they believe that because they are in that position that they can be protected. And in some cases, in a lot of cases, in all honesty, they are protected, which is the reason why they continue to do the shit that they do.
oh, I got stories about the job I went
They
into after I left our job.
remember you remember when I got blackballed. Like
Uh,
we've been there. We know. And
so inform the audience, please, of your experience because we've lived.
wow.
I
Yeah.
got some.
Oh my
I got
God.
some of my own stories.
Okay. So, do you remember when I was teaching?
Yes,
Okay, did I tell you how I got to be the teacher?
it's it's been a decade and a half,
So,
but tell me.
okay, so at the time I was a vet, And I'm not going to go into details of what a bet is because I don't need to know. That was just my position. Plain and simple. But they came around, they was ready to hire, they was ready to do internal hiring for new vets because they were about to promote new people to DEs and stuff like that. Um, and they needed teachers. So they came around to all the vets and they asked, apply for the position, whatever the case may be. And they were going to pick people, and then you had to take like a test. And if you tested, then you would be chosen. And I was encouraged to apply for it by a lot of people, not my managers, but other people. So I did. And I got the email saying that I made the BQ list, which is the best qualified list. But then I got an email again saying that I didn't make the BQ list. Now, to give context, the BQ list is when you apply for a job, right? You based off of how you apply, they go through the application or whatever, and they say, okay, you qualify. And then what they do after that is they go to your manager and they ask the managers to, emphasize a little bit more on your application on whether or not you would be best qualified for this position. The managers can either say yes or no. And then sometimes if you on a BQ list, depending on how many people make the list, they ask you to rank them. So I got two conflicting uh emails. So I went to my manager and I asked my manager about like which one am I supposed to pay attention to. And she told me that she did not recommend me for the BQ list because I had too much personal stuff going on at the time, which, interestingly enough, did not stop me from performing my job in any way, shape, or form, like at all. Um, so I let it go. But then, like later on that, like towards my end of the workday, I got another email that said that I was selected for the position. So I'm real fucked up now because I'm like, she just told me that she didn't recommend me for this job. So clearly the BQ list email like was null and void, right? So am I supposed to pay attention to this? Like I was confused. And they always give you this number or a contact person, whoever's in charge of the job announcement, that you can call and ask questions. And they confirmed to me that my manager like told them no, they did not want me to take this position, but somebody upstairs pulled me. So whoever it was that advocated for me, I guess understood what my manager was trying to do. And because they were above her, they were able to pick me for the job. My manager was pissed, right? The reason why my manager was pissed wasn't just because I got picked for the job. It had nothing to do with my personal life. What happened is we had a backlog. The backlog was like, I believe, seven years. It was ridiculous, right? And the big people upstairs picked like two bets from each division and asked them to go around to their peers and find out what could be suggested to help improve not just only the work environment, but help get the work out. And that's what we did. And then we went upstairs and we sat around all of the big people and answered the questions. And I got in trouble for telling the truth. I got in trouble for telling the truth. I got pulled up and was like, why would you go up there and say that? Because that's what the fuck y'all told me to do. That's what I was asked to do. And so that's what I did. So basically I got blackballed because our feedback brought attention to a problem that upstairs did not know about.
How about that?
So that was the reason why my manager didn't recommend me for the teaching thing, but I got it anyway, right? So I'm teaching and like, man, that shit was so damn fun. I loved teaching. If they could have kept me like on that team for the rest of the time, I'd have been perfectly fine. I love teaching. That shit was amazing. At the same time, while we were teaching, the BA and DE job announcements came out, like job posting came out. And they told us, like they told all of us, like apply for it. Because there's this thing of once you teach, like it allows you to, it's supposed to push you to, that next level, right? We all applied for it. All of us applied for it. Me and one other person who happened to be the other person that had to go upstairs with me, we were the only two that didn't get the job. So I made a complaint. I made a complaint. And ultimately I got my promotion, but then, real life happened and I had to stop working. But like, yeah, she blackballed the shit out of me for a long time. And it was one of them things where it's like, bruh, I'm not one of them people that you gonna bully. I know what my rights are. I don't know. I don't think you understand um how much I know because of who I know. You see what I'm saying? I never was the person to want to throw that out there. I never bragged about who my mother worked for and shit like that. I never did any of that when I could have. But because of what I knew, I also knew what you as a manager can and cannot do. And we had um awards and shit that they would give out. And what was that stupid ass that yearly assessment thing where they did your rankings and stuff like that? You know what I'm talking about?
Amen.
Whatever that, I don't remember what that thing is, but it's like my I always topped at anywhere between a 4.5 and a 4.7 out of 5. Each year, except for the first year that I was there, I got rock awards. So if I'm qualified to be able to get all of these things, then how can I not be qualified for the job? That was my argument. And I won. But they are a perfect example of people in a position of power who tried to sabotage me for doing a job that they told me to do. So that was my experience.
And they're still doing that to this
I
day.
believe it. I believe it.
Because here's what
Because
based off my own experience, especially in that building across the street next to the high school,
Mm,
uh, like I knew it was a thing even when you and I worked the same job.
mm-hmm.
I just was not even paying attention because I was, busy working. Um, and being funny and being fun and stuff and doing what I was supposed to do. But when I got to that building next to high school, I'm like, oh, y'all were really a trip. Like, there's part of me that connects with this girl. I'm not condoning her murdering. I'm not condoning, her murdering the manager. I'm not condoning her response to perceived disrespect, being talked down to, being talked to like a child. Because if that's going to be your response to any time you feeling like that, baby, you need some help. It's
Yeah.
not everybody else, it's you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
there will be times in life. I don't know how old this young lady is, but there'll be times in life where people will not treat you the way you feel you should be treated.
Right.
You have to get it into your mindset, into your spirit that it's not all about you. And this is something I had to wrestle with. Like, I never quite understood. It took me a great a great while to figure out. Like, I never understood why I'm being treated less than what I put out.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, to the point, this speaks to like the point of I don't understand why people want to put us into categories and be protected because they fit that particular category when they're out here treating people like shit. And people are just kind of lost and kind of to a point you made earlier about the superficiality of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all about the look. And because you look good, you're protected. Never mind how you treat people when certain people are not around, because that happens too. But
Mm-hmm.
part of me did kind of resonate or connect with this lady because I've been in that position
Yep.
from my first job to even to the job before my current one. And it's not easy. But these are
Mm-mm.
the times that you use your voice
Yep.
and you use the channels that afford you. Like, we just talked about all the different kind of other options this girl could have exercised before resorting to murder and possibly
Yep.
a life term in jail,
Mm-hmm.
over an $8 an hour job. 10, maybe 15. Um,
Even still, it's
it's
now your livelihood is permanently affected.
yeah, and
There is no schedule for you now.
scheduled to press them license plates in jail.
Do they still do that?
I listen. I don't know, but you're gonna be on a different kind of schedule.
Yeah.
You can't just leave the premises and go home and come back with a knife and start stabbing people like you just did up at the McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
You are looking at possibly spending 23 hours a day in a room with no windows
Yep.
that you can't even open. You can't open
Yep.
up a window. You got to sleep on a metal cot, a metal bunk bed, rooming with like four other bros that probably did similar or worse shit. All because you didn't like an annoying coworker. But I'll tell you this, like even though I got past Miss Pat and her bourgeois ass or phony hood bourgeois ass, Because I'm like, how you acting like your nose in the air and you got split ends? But you know what? Um, listen, I'm always gonna ask on a podcast, like, you gotta pick a struggle. You gotta pick a struggle. And I'm not anybody's pet project. You think that was that, but I got to this other job after I left our job, and I had my chain of command. I knew who my supervisor was. I was cool with the front office. Yet and still, there was this one manager that just decided to make me her pet project, I guess. And like you have this, it's like you pull me into these rooms to talk to me and have your little opinions or whatever. And then you get to a point to where you bring in another manager and you put on this whole thing. And this is like the fourth or fifth time. And I'm just not that dude. Like I'm already annoyed because you took me away from my job. I know that you are in these same manager meetings where they're telling you what they're going to do with the administrative assistants, and you're so you want to come to me about why am I going over here to pick up leave slips to do time and leave? Well, why are you always talking to my in passing? But she did this. I was there probably about what maybe 2 to 3 years. Only her, only her, and I'm just like, I do my job. I do other things for my mod. I'm probably one of the best timekeepers around because I was taught by the best. I'm not like crazy Alicia. I'm not getting into arguments with management. And I served 4 years in the military. I'm not some knucklehead off the street.
Right.
You got people like that. And then on top of that, my own manager, also a single mother, she had a funky way of like talking to me kind of crazy. And I at some point in our relationship, I had to look at her like, who you talking? You're not talking to your son. But see, yeah, and still never went to the parking lot, came back with a knife and stabbed people.
Right.
Like, I guarantee you, I was probably around that same age as this girl that killed her manager. It's got to be a better way. It's got to be a better way, and it's like you don't have the motion you think you do, and the bigger point on all of this is that you've explained the background leading up to this. It is it says something when we have this video where you explain this stuff and you go to the measure that you do. Like it just reeks of like entitlement and all this other like temper tantrum princess bullshit that fucks up everything in the world. You know what I mean? Like you don't have the motion. You don't have you don't have the clout, or you're not on the same footing and you don't have the leverage at McDonald's to even like justify or quantify the choice that you made. Like the crash out is not this kind of crash out is just not. I just got pissed off just the more I talk about it.
Yeah.
Cause
It's, you know, um,
like I get it, but I just it's you kids out here, and she looked like she all of about 19, 20 years old. Y'all gotta move different. And
yep.
I have I have worked with many a bird in my day. Like you can't even when you have an opportunity, first of all, to work a full time job these days, which it's a privilege. Um, you, in my case, fresh out of training, which was paid, all the training was paid, and this was at IKEA. IKEA. Is this mic on? I said IKEA, like international level shit. All of us were temp workers, had a paid training in the call center at White Marsh. This is hard to come by when you were a temp worker. Have you ever done temp work before?
Yes.
So you know, like,
Oh yeah, they tried to play me too.
oh,
They played. Yeah, they played.
baby, you ain't been to war unless you met
That with a temp
at a temp
agency.
agency, okay?
Mm.
And you think they're all in your favor. Some of them do be playing games. Um, this is gonna be a fat episode. We spilled all that. Because let me tell you, like I said, I'd have worked around many a bird in my day. I I was still commuting in and out of Maryland, I think, when I got this job. And I was like, ooh, paid training, full time, sign me up. Even though it was a call center, and this was probably like my third call center job. Did the training. Some people were griping about some of the instructors making some very uncomfortable racial comments and stuff. But for the most part, everybody got through. I left because I just couldn't get with the call center thing. But come to find out, two of the girls that were sitting next to me in the training, who I thought were like best friends, got into a fist fight on the floor
Mm.
of the call, like active call center, got into a fist fight. I was like, oh my God. Like, oh, I'm so glad I left. And trust to
Mm.
believe, like, the environments, it's the people that make the environments. Whether it's Ulta, McDonald's, IKEA, even the agency we were with. And it's so sad that like even at beyond our big age, people will be weeks from retirement.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I were still working in this building when this happened. Lady was weeks from retirement, went to the copier machine. I think there was somebody already like at the copier machine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they talked backwards to this lady and they got into a fist fight. Weeks from retirement.
Mm.
It the birds, man, the birds. Like, oh, the birds, the birds.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you going to jail for life,
Yeah.
and you making.
Like I
I'm
said,
telling y'all, you youngins making these posts, these video posts and stuff.
y'all be telling
For the
on
fact,
yourself.
giving the court of law evidence, dodo bird.
I give you
Oh,
another situation. I give
please.
you another situation. Oh, see now I'm gonna have to go find this little white girl name because I it don't even matter. Ultimately, you know how they do crime stories and investigative
Yup,
stories on TikTok,
yup,
like or Twitter or on social media,
yup.
period. A lot of times social media will solve a crime before the police do.
Man, listen.
So this woman who does crime stories, got a DM from this girl who told her that she wanted her to do an investigative, video about this man and this woman who had been killed. Um, and the girl was the daughter of this couple. Okay. So she asked this woman to do a video on the murder of her parents. Okay. A situation of like the parents was I believe they were either stabbed or they were killed. Either way. And um the 6-year-old sibling was the one that found the parents. Okay. So this influencer, I'm sorry that I don't know your name, sweetie, because outside of this situation, I'm not familiar with the page. But ultimately, she did a video on it, um, in which, people were asking questions or they made comments just like any other social media post. You know what I mean? But the daughter was also like responding to people in the videos that she made. Like a person made a comment and was like, no broken entry must have been somebody that they knew. And she responded, it absolutely was somebody that they knew. Like little things like that. Long story short, it was that heifer. She killed her parents. Don't know why. They haven't said why. But I don't know if it was a situation where she wanted to be caught or she was looking for a certain type of attention from it, but ultimately she brought the attention to herself and they found out that she was the one who killed her parents. Y'all be snitching on yourselves, and I don't know if y'all be doing it because subconscious guilt. You know what I mean, you probably need to be caught or held accountable for what you're doing, but you're too scared, or so you find another means to do it, or y'all just that fucking dumb. It there's no real in between for me that logically makes sense as to why you would put that shit on the internet unless you want to get caught. It's weird. Y'all just be doing dumb shit on the internet for no good goddamn reason. Let me pull out my phone with my homeboys and walk up and beat a nigga to death and then run away and laugh in the camera. What the fuck are you doing? And it's a slippery slope because some things I'm not gonna hold you. I believe it's justified. Like the dude that caught the guy that raped his little cousin walking up the street. Like they beat that man, stripped him, and taped him to a fucking pole. I'm all for shit like that. I'm sorry, you raped a kid.
Absolutely.
They could have killed
Absolutely.
you. Like, they could have killed you. You feel me? I am all for things like that. I'm all for there was even another incident where this family was at a park. A little girl went to go to the bathroom to go get some toilet paper. Went to go to the bathroom and then somebody that she didn't even know was like, "Hey, it's no toilet paper in the men's bathroom. Can you go in the bathroom and get it for me?" And she did, and he followed her and ended up raping her in the bathroom. And a family member actually walked in and like stopped it, and they beat the shit out of dude until the police came. I'm all for shit like that. I'm all for, you know, this Muslim family, this girl, 17 years old, doesn't want to do an arranged marriage, and her father and mother and sister tried to do an honor killing on a bus stop, and her peers beat up her father to save her. I'm all for shit like that. It be when y'all be riding around just for the fuck of it and want to start shooting at people's houses, or you rob somebody, you break into some shit. It be those type situations. Like, bro, what is wrong with y'all? There's no rhyme and reason in what it is that you're doing outside of the fact of that nigga's my op. Why? Because he said some shit that you didn't like, or is it because of something? You know what I'm saying? Something else. Like, a lot of the shit just be stupid shit. This nigga said some shit about me on the internet. Bro, did you see the video of the couple um who was shot and killed on live in Vegas?
Yes.
Situations like that. All of that started because of a YouTube beef. Them going back and forth on YouTube. And that back and forth puts you in a position where you seen them go live. You know that they're live, that you felt so strongly that you walked up on them and shot and killed them in front of everybody and the internet too. The fuck be wrong with y'all, man? I don't get it. Stupid shit. Just dumb.
I really was not expecting us to talk a whole nother hour and a half when I brought up that girl killing her McDonald's manager. But here we
Cause it just
it yeah.
it's so it's not. I think what I'm starting to realize is these situations aren't as cut and dry as people make them seem to be. And I don't think that people understand what people in this age are really dealing with. Like, COVID changed a lot of shit in people. It changed the dynamic of the way certain people learn. It opened the eyes to, you know, some people ain't surviving this world alone. They need human contact or human interaction or something of that nature, or just solitude triggered something. It triggered a level of paranoia. It might have triggered, a level of solitude. Like, I like this shit. It might have, there was a lot of things that shifted once they opened up outside. That shit sounds crazy. But, you now have, coming from that, so much conflict and so much turmoil that's going on in the world and the fluctuation of things. And then you have conspiracy theories, and you have, you know, now the lies are starting to weigh more than the truth, and you expect a normal functionality and it's not there anymore. You have people who are desperate because they might feel like they might not be able to, they might not have a talent that can allow them to work on their own, or maybe they can, but they might not have the money to fund it. So they might have to do something like McDonald's, or do something like Checkers or IKEA or Sam's Club or something to help them maintain shit. There's a lot of people who don't have homes. Like, there's a significant amount of young people who, like, really living in the streets for real, for real. House hopping, trying to get by, and so on. Because, not gonna lie, our generation of parenting dropped the ball on a lot of shit. So, you have new adults that's trying to figure it out. And mental health is real, people. It is. And we don't live in an age of just telling somebody to respect their elders. We live in an age of you get respect when you give respect. Don't matter how old you are. You can't just say respect me because I'm in my 60s or respect me because this is just because that's just my name. If you doing something wrong, people are now more willing to hold shit accountable. Sometimes that accountability comes with violence or threats or a complete shift in your life, whether it is caused by like severe injury or cancellation or death. Some of this shit, y'all gotta learn to let go because what you can't change is how other people act. The only thing you can do is control your actions and how you react to stuff. And there has to be a way for people to understand that that extreme should not be the first option, shouldn't be the second, third, or fourth option either. Both sides of the spectrum got to do better.
Yeah, I'm still standing 10 toes down that any person in authority should get educated in cognitive dissonance, creative, critical thinking, um, the concept of employee morale. Um,
When to actually do your fucking job.
and lead by example, not by power and ego. It's funny. Here's the other thing. There is like I said earlier, there's like a distinction. You have some folks that appreciate, the work because they know that they too are part of that. So they speak to us differently. People, when I was in the military, you can definitely tell the officers that were prior enlisted from those that just came in from the pilot school or OTS and were on some bullshit. And as somebody that's had experiences with both, it was just like, okay. They were started targeting more of the black airmen. That's a whole nother different conversation for a whole nother day.
Oh, the poor
Oh,
stupid people.
don't cry for me, Argentina. Because, um, Karma got his ass. And it,
Mm,
it kind of trickled down to, captains um, in the same office. And
mm,
it was a wild time those first couple of years. But I just share that experience to let y'all know that it's even in what people perceive is like the best of the best environments and the best place to be, based off of the commercials and shit. You got assholes everywhere.
mm-hmm.
Um, but yet again, I didn't go to my car and get a kitchen knife and come in and start stabbing the major or stabbing
Right.
the captain because they were talking to me crazy. They're really, you don't have, like I said, as much power and as much motion as you think you do.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not going to inherit this McDonald's because you killed the manager. You're not going to have your freedom because there will be a judge and a prosecutor that's going to nail your ass to the cross.
Mm-hmm. And you probably
Also
gonna come
now
across
than
more
ever,
people that's gonna talk to you worse and execute. I'm just saying. Mm, mm.
it,
So sorry for both of them.
you know, while it could be very well true that this lady was on some power trip, I mean, you have 6 kids at home or you have kids at home, and you think the moment you see an employee that looks like one of your daughters, you think you're talking to one of your daughters. You're not. You're not. Like it's stuff on both sides, and this comes from somebody that has worked a good deal. It's like not everybody's not going to respond to
Mm-hmm.
your bullshit. Like, sorry to this lady, not saying that she deserved it. However,
Yeah, there's a
this is
limit
the
to
real
shit that
world.
people are willing to deal with. Yeah.
This is the real world. Um, but yeah, I
Speaking,
really want people this girl's age, our generation, to really get themselves together. Because if you're doing this down the church at a minimum wage job, it's not going to get any better.
yeah, it's
If
not
you're somebody that like supports that or is of the same mindset that this is how you handle adult situations.
right.
That's all I'm gonna say on that. Fendi, like the bag. This is the Ivory